Hello friends, welcome to Homegrown Florida. I don't know about you, but supporting my tomato plants have been a frustrating process over the last several years. I've tried tomato cages, I've tried tomato frames, bamboo stakes, and even just not supporting them at all. But each of these methods have not worked out well, so today we're going to try something totally different. I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to be transplanting my tomato plants and using the Florida weave method to support them. It's even more special to me since I garden in Florida where this method originated from. I don't think it's exactly known when it was started, but sometime in the 1950s, a Florida tomato farmer wanted to come up with an easier method to trellising tomato plants that was low cost, but equally as effective as more traditional methods. The reason trellising is necessary, especially here in Florida, is because tomato plants can be pretty susceptible to fungal issues and pest pressure if you don't get them good airflow. By standing the plants upright and trimming off the bottom leaves, it keeps the humidity off the plant by allowing the wind to move through and dry off those upper leaves. The Florida weave method has actually become so popular it's used all over the world and is even used for other plants like cucumbers and peppers and beans. So let's jump right into it. Before transplanting the tomato plants into the bed, it's really important to prepare the garden soil. So you want to choose a spot like this one that gets at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight a day. And you also want to make sure that your soil drains well. So you're going to clear any of the existing plants, weeds, debris from the area. So I have some cabbage and broccoli in this bed, but they have pretty much run their course, so I'm removing them. It's a best practice to add compost or other organic material to the soil to improve its fertility and its ability to drain. I added compost to this bed just a couple months ago, so I'm going to skip that step. Once the garden bed is prepared, it's time to transplant the tomato plant. So you're first going to dig a hole in the garden bed that's deep enough to accommodate the entire plant's roots. I add a general fertilizer to the planting hole, such as tomato tone or garden tone from Epsom. It's one of my favorites. Then we're going to gently remove the tomato plant from its container or its pot and be careful not to damage those roots. We're going to place the tomato plant down into the hole and then bring that soil back in over it. You're also going to want to firm it down around the base of the plant. So this sounds or feels a little rough on the plant, but it helps make sure that those roots are making contact with the soil below. After you've transplanted the tomato plant, it's really super important that you make sure that you water it right away. Watering it thoroughly will help it adjust to its new spot and avoid some transplant shock. Another way to reduce transplant shock is to transplant your tomatoes later in the day as we're entering into dusk. This is going to allow that water to settle in place and give the plants kind of a reprieve from the sun for the night as they get settled. So water the plants regularly for the first few days to help them adjust. Now we're going to set up the support for the Florida weave. You will need 2 stakes and some twine. That's it. Place a stake at either end of the row for the tomato plants. Tie the piece of twine to the first stake at the end of the row, and then you're going to weave it in and out of the plants as you approach the second stake. And then you'll tie it to that second stake so that it's nice and taut, and then do the same thing back on the reverse side of the weave. As the plants grow, continue to weave that twine in and out of the stakes to support the new growth. Keep growing higher and higher. So I have to say this was pretty painless. Hopefully this is going to work out. I'll keep you updated as the season progresses, and we'll see if there is a winner to the infamous tomato support dilemma. Make sure to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on that future update. Thanks so much for spending time with me in the garden today. If you are having trouble starting your tomato seeds, make sure to watch this video next. Happy gardening, guys.